Okra divides people faster than almost any vegetable. Some people love it deeply. Some people avoid it completely. Most people misunderstand it. Okra is not strange. It is specific. Botanically, okra is Abelmoschus esculentus, a flowering plant in the mallow family. That family includes hibiscus, cotton, and cacao. This already tells you something important. Okra is not a leafy green or a root. It is a pod, a seed-bearing structure designed to protect and distribute life. Okra originated in Africa, most likely in the Ethiopian region. From there, it spread through North Africa, the Middle East, India, and eventually the Americas through trade and forced migration. Wherever okra traveled, it adapted. Okra thrives in heat. It does not tolerate cold well. It grows tall, with large leaves and pale yellow flowers that resemble hibiscus blooms. After flowering, the edible pod forms quickly. Timing matters. Harvest too late, and the pod becomes fibrous and tough. Texture is the center of the okra conversation. Inside okra is mucilage, a natural plant compound that becomes slippery when cooked. This is not a flaw. It is a feature. Mucilage thickens liquids naturally. It creates body in soups and stews without flour or starch. In cuisines that understand okra, this property is celebrated. In cuisines that do not, it is feared. Flavor-wise, okra is mild and grassy. It does not dominate. It absorbs surrounding flavors easily. Garlic, onion, tomato, chili, spices, and fats all pair naturally with okra. When cooked correctly, okra can be crisp, silky, tender, or thickening, depending on method. High-heat methods like frying, grilling, or roasting reduce sliminess. Acidic ingredients like tomatoes, lemon, or vinegar also control texture. Slow simmering enhances thickening. This is not inconsistency. This is versatility. Culturally, okra is essential. In West African cooking, it appears in thick soups eaten with starches. In Middle Eastern cuisine, it is stewed gently with tomatoes and meat. In Indian cooking, it is sliced and stir-fried with spices. In the American South, it is fried, pickled, and stewed in gumbo. Gumbo itself is named after okra. The word comes from African languages. This alone shows how foundational okra is. Nutritionally, okra is stronger than its reputation. It is low in calories and high in fiber. It provides vitamin C, vitamin K, folate, and magnesium. Its soluble fiber supports digestion and blood sugar control. The seeds inside okra pods contain protein and healthy fats. In some regions, roasted okra seeds have even been used as coffee substitutes. Okra also contains antioxidants, including flavonoids and polyphenols, which support cellular health. From a farming perspective, okra is resilient. It tolerates poor soil, intense heat, and drought better than many vegetables. This makes it valuable in food security discussions. Visually, okra is distinctive. Star-shaped cross-sections, fuzzy green skin, angular geometry. It looks engineered. When sliced, it reveals symmetry that feels intentional. The biggest mistake with okra is treating it like a generic vegetable. Overcrowding the pan, cutting too early, under-seasoning, or ignoring heat control all lead to disappointment. Okra demands clarity of intention. Decide what texture you want, then cook accordingly. It is not confused. It is precise. Okra does not need defending. It needs understanding. Once understood, it stops being controversial and starts being indispensable.